Estoy loco por tocarte, pero no me atrevo a textearte. Tú solo bailas en mi mente, mi amor. No hay nadie más con que prefiera bailar, aguanta y baila como fuego, iluminamos el cielo con nuestro amor. Aguanta y baila siempre. Baby, quiero nadar en tus palmas, no necesito sombra ni paraguas. Mi amor, me gusta cuando estamos ahí, botella como será calentita. Y no tengo mucho que perder yo, aguanta para mí, yo te enseño, baby, todo lo que te mereces, mami. No hay nadie más con que prefiera bailar, aguanta y baila. Cuando agarro tu cuerpo nunca lo suelto, encima de mi baby siempre te siento, siempre te siento.
Hi everyone. Oh my gosh. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hi Jessica. I did not expect you to be here. Shout out to you, lady. I have a link. If you want to come and say anything, let me know. I'm going to drop it on my chat for you to click it, lady. Shout out to you. I was actually just about to talk about you, and I figured, well, if you're here, maybe you could be on camera, and if not, an avatar, and talk about the situation. I put out a video. Jessica, I almost called you Jessica. Jessica, excuse me, has been very vocal about the situation, and she has posted it on her Facebook. I was initially a little bit worried about putting her information out there. It's already been put, but it sounds like Jessica's at this point where she is not going to keep quiet about anything. I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and shout out to you for speaking out. I will say this, you guys saw my thumbnail. You guys saw the title. I have so many comments from people that are attacking, which is expected. I think that the news is a little bit of a shocker. Welcome, guys. Welcome as everybody's coming in. Jessica, totally up to you. The link is there. Okay. Cousin is here too, although not sure if she'll comment. Please show her some love. She's a hero. Absolutely, guys. Can you guys drop some hearts in the chat for the family, please? no, totally up to you. I'm dropping the link again, you guys. If you can come up, that would be awesome, so we can get anything that you can share with us. I have no script. I did not expect you guys to be in this chat. Shout out to you. Thank you. The link is there for you guys. Let me know. Yes, drop some hearts for everybody. And I think I have one mod in the chat. Mods, if you see any type of victim shaming or bashing of some sort, please completely time them out and or block them, because we will not tolerate that shit over here. We've already said it. We stand with the victims, period. I don't care who you're a fan of and whatsoever. Let me know, Jessica, and anybody else in the fam that wants to come up. The link is right there. And, I can wait a little bit if you want me to. You let me know. And I'm just checking on the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Realification, SF, I always call him SF. It's SF Investigates. Is not a YouTube channel from what I looked like. He just has a Twitter page. But he did do an interview with the Glare about a month ago. Fantastic interview. We're going to play a clip on that. Guy's pretty awesome. And you could tell some of his concerns as it pertains to AFW and the Kylie Rodney investigation, which a lot of us had it. But he was actually on site in the scene. Did you guys know, and I don't know if a lot of you guys knew, whether you were following the Kylie Rodney case or not, did you know that how the family found out about Kylie Rodney was through social media? Essentially, there was a post that AWP had posted out, and that's how they found out, even though they had released an edited video, basically trying to be very tactful about how they were going to announce the news to the father. It sounded like it didn't even go down that way based on that interview. Thank you, Tiffany, for the 199 super sticker. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, definitely. We see you guys as superheroes. Shout out to you, ladies. You let me know, Jessica, if it is something that you guys can come up and speak on, and that is absolutely fine. I'm going to add Jessica's Facebook to the stream, okay? Oh, so this was tough, because yesterday when I released the video, I talked about victims. I'm a social worker by trade, right? So I work with victims, and I understand how important it is to definitely be sympathetic to those voices, right? Immediately we're on attack mode, especially if we feel like we know somebody. We don't know Jared. We don't know Jessica. We don't know any of these people, right? And so I think when somebody comes here, and not to take away from the fact that they found Kylie Rodney, but when somebody comes here and that's all, we give them so many flowers, we want to overlook anything that's been done in the past. And SF Investigates has found so much stuff on Jared that I'm just like, wow. It's so crazy to me. So crazy to me. Welcome. Thank you to the new subscriber. Yes. Thank you. Jessica, I'm going to drop it one more time. If you want to come up, totally up to you. It's just a lot, I would imagine. Anything that you can share with us. Otherwise, I'm going to move on with this post just to remind anybody what happened. I know a lot of YouTube channels are talking about it too. So shout out to them, and shout out to everybody that's not scared to speak out, because seriously, a lot of people are scared to speak out against this. And I don't my channel is definitely being reported. IckedMel's channel is being reported. I'm pretty sure the Glare's channel being reported. Any channel that's speaking against this AWP, which, by the way, they have, and just to be clear, they have over 2.81 million followers, okay? So can you imagine what it's like to speak out against somebody with such a big following? My channel has less than 20K. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody to stand up for the truth and try to bring light to the situation and not be shut down or intimidated by bots, by trolls, by, their groupies, it's very hard. Jessica looked like she posted this morning. She said this was just recently. She says, "Karma is coming around tenfold. So glad I've been a good person because when karma catches up with me, I'm gonna have a sweet life." Whew. This is the post that I had shared yesterday, and let me zoom in a little bit. I mean, Jessica looks like she's got a family, you know. I would only imagine how hard it is to move on from this situation and do what you have to do. She says, "Feels like I'm living with a target on my back." And I read this yesterday on a video, but I'm used to it. Been standing up for what's right my whole life while others are put on pedestals for doing harms to others. I appreciate the person that is standing up for what's right, as well as I hope this will protect innocent children. We weren't protected. We weren't protected. I hate this sentence. I hate it because it just hurts me so much to read this. Okay. We weren't protected, but we're trying to help others. And in case you're not aware, yes, this is my brother. Changed my name to my real name on Facebook a couple months ago. So I'd be easier to, let me click on this, get a hold of due to this. And again, this is the post from Adventures with Purpose, the Reddit group that we had talked about yesterday. A lot of us are upset. It's so deep. The charges are posted on her page. This is the sister. The person that made the outcry on the emails was another relative. It's just so crazy. I'm just a viewer. I got my account taken away. When I tried to ask why, it was because of the unsubscribing, canceled my membership to them. Thankfully, I had my backup account already. Are you serious, Sweet Pea? I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys. I might have to get my backup channel up and running too. If you speak on this, even when I tried to, do something in the back studio, immediately it was flagging it. This is so crazy, guys. This is just so, anyway, so shout out to Jessica. She posted that. Let's keep reading, okay? These are the charges, okay? One of the things I wanted to point out, because people were so quick to dismiss, and I completely understand, right? The man still needs his due process. I very much believe that that needs to happen, but things we can't dismiss somebody's story like that. We can't. Things I have been flagged all morning. I will do a search. A lot of things will pop up, and then I'll do the search again a few minutes later, and there won't be anything. I don't know where that I came from. I don't know what you mean, Jessica. And then again, I don't know if the link is there. If you want to click it, you can come up. You don't have to show your face. Completely up to you. I know a lot of people would love to hear your side of things. I would love to hear it, definitely. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if anything that you can shed light to us would be great. I was looking further to Jessica's Facebook, okay? Which, by the way, happy belated birthday, Jessica. I did see some birthday posts. Don't mind that I'm looking at that, but let me scroll a little bit faster, okay? There was another post that totally struck my eye over here, okay? Whew, it's a lot. I got an order today to deliver to Jared L. She says, on the outskirts of Redmond, Oregon. Delivery instructions said, go through green gate and go to the house. When I pulled up to the electric gate, it started closing. So I parked, got out of my vehicle with the order as I saw a man in the distance walking up to the driveway. It was my older brother, Jared, who started screaming, fuck you, Jessica. No, Jared, You can't fuck me anymore, you psycho piece of shit. You knew who had your order and was driving all the way out there. Let me go down a little bit. Don't be mad at me for supporting people who want to put you away. Be mad at yourself for the things you have done to others. I might have been the first one you sexually assaulted, but I was far from the last. You're not a hero like others may think. You're a narcissistic piece of shit that's about to go down for your own actions. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you like others are. You can't brainwash me like you have done to others. You made your bed, and now it's time for you to toss and turn and lose some sleep over your actions. It's only a matter of time that the truth of Jared is revealed. Thanks for showing your face again. Thanks for showing your face today. Now we know where to send the police. All these hashtags. Oops, sorry about that. I did one more delivery that day and went home. The next day when I went to work and tried to clock in, I was not able to as I was fired. He made a false report to my employer. Thanks, Jared. I make twice as much at my new job, and they're willing to protect me, unlike the job you had me fired from. Oh my gosh. My God. This is a lot, yo. This is a lot. And it's so this is what was dropped earlier today, from from that end, from the Facebook. I did put in the link there, Jessica, if you want to come out and speak, completely up to you. Right. This causes damages lifelong for us survivors of child sex abuse. It's a really sad situation. Absolutely. Thank you, It Talks Baby Girl, who's putting in the link here. All right. That's what was shown this morning, right? So Jessica is calling out Jared, calling out everybody who's been basically covering up for him, right? Now, mind you, I mean, it paperwork was filed in court, okay? So people can go back and forth and say, well, it's not true, it's not this. Something was filed in court. He's going to have to address this. There's an email out there. Of course, they're going to have to check the email, validate it and whatnot. And that's what they're going to have to do, right? It is what it is. That's what they're going to have to do. This is SF Investigates, okay? So SF Investigates broke the paperwork for the court. That's the link that I had shown yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember, if you saw my live. Yes, definitely. Make sure you guys drop some some hearts for Jessica and her family. And hopefully they're able to find some healing through this situation. Hey, Navy, welcome, guys. Welcome, if you're just coming in. This is SF Investigates, okay? A lot of people are asking me, who is this person? Who is this person? Absolutely, yes. And is that a hashtag that you guys have started? I mean, I'll definitely look into it and we can share it. Yes, thank you, Jessica, for sharing that. We'll definitely keep it going. So this is SF Investigates, and he is an investigator, okay? He does not have a YouTube channel, at least I didn't see one for him, but he's the one that kind of broke this whole situation and story. He's done a couple interviews here and there. The most recent one that I saw was with The Glare. We'll play a little clip of that interview, but let's see real quick. There was something I wanted to call out because there were some apologists of the behavior that Jared was doing. And SF Investigates, I believe his name is Steve. He's not having it whatsoever. He actually shared, let's see if we can share some of the stuff. Who knows how many others are out there, he says. Okay. Who knows how many others are out there that have had this bottled up inside of them for who knows how long or how recent. Jared's sister now has a voice and something to say. She probably isn't aware of the wall of support she has behind her and all victims. You have a lot of support. A lot of support, Jessica, you and the family. Okay. Shout out to SF Investigator, right? And I'll make sure I link his Twitter. You guys got to follow him on Twitter. The man is very active. And we're gonna watch a little bit of an interview that he did where he talks a little bit about AWP on the Glares channel, and you guys have to check out the Glares channel as well. These are the posts that were again on her Facebook. Jessica says on the bottom, we come from a family that will protect predators and lift them up on pedestals while shunning the victims. It stops now. It stops now. So, do you guys remember the victim, the email that was written back and forth? And even if allegedly, okay, I'm going to say allegedly because I haven't looked at the email link yet, right? I have to look into it, right? So I have to say things allegedly now. But if Jared wrote this email, he himself has taken fault and has recognized that there has been perpetration within his own family. Within his own family. Jessica's, and I remember Jessica used the email said that he was put into foster care. Now, this is the sister who's saying, okay, and again, Jessica, I don't know if this is your actual account, so I have to be very careful. I have to be, if it's you, thank you for speaking up. The link is there if you want to come up and speak, but it says he wasn't put into foster care at a young age. He was put in a place under a false name by my father to hide I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding. To hide his from my father's divorce proceeding because of me coming forward with the abuse. I see. So was there like a custodial issue? And so then he was put under a different name, a false name by my father to hide him from my father's divorce proceedings because of me coming forward about the abuse. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. His actions have been covered up by the family way too long. Oh, Jesus. Guys, you are very brave, girl. You got a lot of supporters here on this chat. Oh, yes. For anyone who's been abused by a family member whose family failed to protect them, you're not in the wrong. Physical and sexual, psychological, verbal abuse causes mad denial in families. Yeah. My stepmom was trying to protect her children from his. Oh my gosh. This is some heavy stuff, yo. Some heavy stuff. Thank you, Navy. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. This is some real heavy stuff. And now that, the victim and everyone, you're fine, Jessica. I got you. I'm reading it, rereading it again. And now that the victim has they're going to have their day in court, right? Absolutely. We have to figure that out in day in court. But if that email, if they link it back, and mind you, the body of the email said that the man did not care that this email is being filtered by all his staff at work. And he feels like he made a mistake and he was 12 based on the language that he's saying there. And the victim, the alleged victim in the email is saying, no, you were driving a Volkswagen during that time. You were 17. The girl was 9, and it happened more than once at 2 different locations. And he's being charged with or indicted for child rape. This wasn't like they met in high school. This is so crazy to me. These are the comments that I was getting, yo. Let me tell you guys what happened. So I was getting a lot of comments, right? And I'm contacting other content creators about the situation because anybody who spoke on this immediately, yo, it was like bots, supporters, heavy hitters hitting our channel, reporting or saying something. I noticed it, okay? Immediately. Some of those were saying, well, they were dating, they were in high school. That was what somebody said. That person's lying. It didn't happen. I'm unsubscribing from your channel and I'm blocking you for this misinformation. This is what they're doing to this man because of Kylie Rodney and Truckee. This is a family thing. This happened within their own family. How is that connected to Kylie Rodney and Truckee? I'm telling you, it was so crazy. My father should also be charged. He covered it up and protected Jared when he needed help, when I needed help. Oh my God, yo. Jessica, he also blames the Mormon church. Did you know that? Like, and I don't know, yo. If we would have received help, then others may have not been abused. It's sick. My goodness, Jessica, I really shout out to you for speaking. I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm just a little like what I don't want to see happen because I get a lot of people that say, well, that's not, people could say that this is not the real Jessica. I'm hoping that this is you. I can't confirm it, Jessica. If there's a different way that we can confirm this, you have not hit the link. If you don't want to talk, that's absolutely fine. I'm on your Facebook right now. I have a Facebook as well. Can you send me a message from your Facebook and let me know that this is you? Just to confirm, girl, because I just don't want people coming in here and saying that we spoke to the wrong person. Look, I will share with you. My Facebook is Down the Rabbit Hole News at Facebook. You can shoot me a message and let me know that that's you. I have my phone right here and I could check it and confirm. Because at the very least, if you don't hit the link, I'm able to say, okay, guys, I'm really talking to the real Jessica. Where do I send it? You could send, look, I have different ways of communication. You can email me, right? Well, I'm looking at your Facebook. Yes, TT. I just think that would be better, right? I don't want to force anybody to come up and talk. But if you can send me either a Facebook message on my in my channel, we're actually on my Facebook page as well right now. We're live. Okay. Down the Rabbit Hole News. I have a Facebook. All right. Let's see if I can get this closer. I have a Facebook as well. Down the Rabbit Hole News. I'm live right now as well in there. Down the Rabbit Hole News. Send me a message from that page and just let me know that this is really you in the chat. That'll confirm it. That way I'm not feeling like, all right, like somebody took your name and you're some troll. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming from your page, and so that lets me know that it's you. Does that make sense? Just to make sure, because I'm telling you, yo, I am getting a lot of different people coming in here, and I just want to be very careful. Yeah, and Jessica, we are so sorry that this is happening to you, yo. Like, this is not okay. Whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna wait a little bit, because I know you haven't hit the link, so I just want to make sure. Got it. Let's see. Oh, it's her. It's her, guys. Thank you, Jessica, for doing that. It's her. Let me not show it up. It's her, guys. Okay. Thank you, Jessica, for doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, for doing that. I was like, my gosh, she's saying a lot. And I want to be very careful because I don't want, people to say, well, that's somebody's troll. No, it's her. That's her. That came from her page. It's her. All right. So thank you, Jessica. And girl, let me tell you this. A lot of us are wishing you and the family healing, love, support, your day in court. Do what you have to do. Okay. We don't know the story. Yes, like I appreciate what sounds to me, and even the date of those emails from the Reddit, they're dated February 4th. So somebody had said in my comments, yes, thank you so much. I had a feeling it was her. She was typing and didn't sound like a troll. Right, Mike? We just got to listen. We got to confirm because I already know people are quick to try to discredit her. So we've confirmed it. Yes, we support you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Okay. So let me tell you guys what somebody to kill this, all right away. Somebody said in more than one comments, well, they're only coming forward is because they're making a lot of money. You know, AWP has blown up and they just want money. AWP has been around as far as the page, I think since, and I was looking at their page. If you go to their about me on their page, the page has been since 2018. Okay. Their first upload was, ooh, let me turn this up. And let me be careful because they are quick to strike. Their very first upload as far as videos was about, I think it was 4 years ago. Here we go. Their first upload was about 4 years ago, okay? And they got 117K. So, they were making money on their Facebook page if that was solely what they were doing, period, okay? So, it wasn't like they just kinda, here comes the family and they wanna make these accusations. I highly doubt that this is the case. Based on the date of that email that still needs to be verified, it was February 4th, where one of the alleged victims is saying, "Everybody's applauding you as a hero. You're no fucking hero. You did this to me." He was going around and, doing what he does with AWP, but he was getting a lot of views. So I don't think that this is necessarily a money thing. And let me ask you guys a question, those that want to use that as an excuse. What is the price for a victim? You come out here and you tell your story. You're exposed to the elements of social media because there's a lot of different elements. People tear you apart. People create different accounts. People try to move the narrative a little bit different. So if you've come forward and you're compensated and you never have to talk to the perpetrator again or see them, why do we get fixated on somebody making money, or saying like you just put a price on, you're just here for a price? It doesn't take away the shame. It doesn't take away anything. You can never pay somebody's, dignity. You can never pay somebody's virginity or somebody's, emotional pain that they have gone through after being sexually assaulted, especially in the family, the place where things are supposed to be safe. So for those that are saying, well, they're only coming forward because of money, because they blew up, fuck you for saying that. Because what is the price of that? And then you want to pocket watch a victim. I think it's horrible that people sit there and say, well, they're only here. Okay, what's the price of it? What does it cost? Here at, what is it? SF Investigates. They pulled a whole background check on Mr. Jared. With 39 returns on Jared's criminal record, including conviction felonies for weapons charges, pointing a gun at another, an firearm at another, it seems nothing has changed. Nick, the RA guy, needs to tell us what the arrangements with AWP was for that completely fictional hype story about Kylie Rodney. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in. I don't know if it'll let me. But there's all kinds of charges here that he pulled from Jared Leiski. All kinds. Attempting to elude police, fishing and game violation, unlawful signal turn, anything, weapons used unlawful, reckless driving, pointing a firearm at another in 1997. These are, and look at the dates of offenses, 1994, 1997, okay? Like the 90s was the year for Mr. Jared. The 90s was the year. 39. This is so crazy. False swearing, menacing. I didn't know false swearing. That was a charge. Carry/use a dangerous weapon. He's got a couple weapons ones here, guys. A couple of weapons. PI firearm of another. He's got weapon charges in here. This is so, oh my gosh, yo. The charges, this is what was filed on November 4th, was charged with 2 felony counts of child rape. The majority excuse him for the lies in the Kylie Rodney case because of the good deeds of finding Kylie Rodney. You cannot excuse this, so don't. So don't. Someone said in my comments, and shout out to this person, they said, maybe he feels like by doing all these good deeds, right? Nobody takes away from the fact that he found Kylie Rodney, him and his partner, okay? That somehow it erases the absolute pain that has been caused to this family. He is a dangerous man, and I'm afraid of my life as well as the lives of my children. My grandchildren, especially my cousin at the time, we should all be in protective custody. You really should, Jessica. You really should. I don't know what, girl, you really should. And I really hope that I don't know what, I honestly, and I would prefer that you don't even say what state you reside, but all of this that's coming out, I mean, he has a sketch background. He really does. Ooh. I don't know. Yo, this is scary as hell. Scary as hell. I think what makes me even more upset, and let me go back again, shout out to SF Investigates, right? Because the guy here is like no nonsense. He'll fucking blast you, which I'm like, whoa. Let me see before we go up there. There's a YouTube creator, Living Lake Time, that is a dangerous pedo and rape sympathizer. Which, by the way, there's a lot of those out there that are sympathizing the behavior. They're excusing the behavior. I'm not kidding. He was in my chat saying once Jared's rape of a 9-year-old was public info. It should be legal. That Jared is the victim. This guy is a pedo and is very dangerous. I saw that video that he did. Thank you. Name's pronounced Lyzik. Thank you. I was like, let me not kill your guys' last name. Thank you so much for helping me. Yuhas. Thank you. I'm sure you've heard everybody say it different, girl. But in all seriousness though, with this situation and this guy. So there's a content creator here that did a video called Jared is a Victim. Disgusting, gross video. I saw it. I saw the video. I'm not going to play it here. It's very disgusting, very apologetic of his behavior. I mean, I don't want to give this guy a view. The victim was raped more than once. This person, the one that's being called out, said the second time it's not a secret. It should have been legal. The victim was 9 years old. This is fresh in everyone's emotion center. Give it a few days, you will understand my point. Yeah. And that's him. That's the video that he made. Absolutely no excuse. No excuse. That's the video that he made. To accept the behavior. Jared from AWP is the current victim. Hashtag true crime. I don't know what. I'm like, what do you mean he's the victim? And it's so funny when I watch the video, God, and I'm like, oh, should I even, if I, yes, Tiff, absolutely. They're for both. But there are people out there that support and excuse this behavior. Absolutely. You think he's just trying to be funny? I don't know, Jessica. I think he's trying to get there are some creators here that will do this on purpose, that will get on an opposing view because it'll give them more following. I've seen that happen. Uh, right? Right, Jennifer? 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds are held accountable in court for murder. Absolutely. So at 16 or 17-year-old Jared knew and needs to be held accountable. Absolutely. Woo, you said a mouthful there, my friend. Yes, please, guys, consider calling the 24-hour hotline. It's I thought it was gross. I thought it was a gross video, but that's just my opinion. And I'm not giving this guy a view. Sorry. I gave him one and that was enough. And so then his LLC information is up here. Some people are saying that Jared is no longer in charge of AWP. That is simply false. He is AWP. He owns 100% of AWP. AWP is a DBA, Travari Media LLC, a single member LLC, which means all income flows down to the members directly. There you go. SF Investigates is definitely on that ass right now because, I mean, he definitely, yo, this is crazy. What do you guys think in the comments about the situation? It's deep. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Right. Says, I won't talk about his children right now because that is a whole nother story that will be brought to the attention of public soon. I have no part of it. Oh my. I saw a picture of his children and I hope it's, wow. Oh, Jesus. As a member of a SA from a family member at the age of 4 and again at the age of 12 by the same family member, when RA at the 14 at a different person, feel your pain. I pray for you and your family remain safe. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely well said. I really do hope that the chain is broken. It just is so crazy to me, but you do have those that will apologize the behavior overall and are okay with it. This is a frame job. Okay. Waitress for Jesus said that this is a frame job. I don't know this story yet, but you already said it's a frame job. You've made a judgment already, right? But you don't know the story yet. It was a question? I didn't see a question mark, my love. Hey, IckedMel, welcome. Jessica's in the chat. I don't know if you see Jessica in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Go follow IckedMel and shout out to him because he broke the story here on YouTube. That's not what I said. Well, can you fix it, please? Absolutely. We believe you and we support you. Is this a frame job? Okay. All right, cool. So my apologies. Let me not assume and make an ass out of myself. Not you, but an ass out of myself. Shout out to you, though. Thank you. Yes. We believe you and we support you. We do. Just know you got a lot of avenues and places to tell your story, okay? And we stand for you, period. And let me show you guys. Let me stop sharing real quick. I'm going to show you guys the glares. Shout out to the glare. For those that don't know who SF Investigates is, he made a appearance on the Glares channel about a month ago or so. Very fantastic interview. Yes. Hey, Erika. Welcome. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everyone. So, and he spoke a little bit about AWP, right? And he talked about how the tact in the situation, AWP's approach in the Kylie Rodney case has been number one, people have been taking what they have said as Bible. Okay. Uh, they said they had connects to law enforcement. They said they had so much information in place. They released a documentary. They interviewed people out in the street who allegedly said that they saw Kylie Rodney. There were just so many moving parts to it. And it left everybody feeling some type of way. You had people that would build conspiracy theories based off of what was coming out, and they did little to nothing to try to discredit it until the ruling of her death was that she had drowned, right? Like it was an accident. When it came out, what was it? I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago, they acknowledged it and said, yeah, we support their findings, and then slowly walked away. They caused a ruckus here on YouTube. Met up with Upchurch and his team, went to the other lady who has the dead, kid emojis on her channel and did that shit over there and was doing the whole conspiracy, wasn't discrediting anything, try to bring down other content creators like IckedMel, like other ones out there by spewing conspiracy theories, did nothing to correct their information, allowed people to think that YouTubers were somehow involved in the disappearance of Kylie Rodney. So they caused a shit show here. Did they find Kylie Rodney? Yes. We're not taking that away from them. No, can't take that away from them. They did a very heroic thing. But if I save somebody's life and then murder a family, does that make me any less guilty of a crime? Honest question. I save your life, but murder a family of 5. Does that make me any less guilty? Thank you. I'd like to know. Can somebody answer that? And that's how I feel like we're treating this. The guy did a heroic thing, but he has a past. He needs to address it. Did nothing to address it. Nothing. And now suddenly, a lot of people are like, well, I just don't, AWP was in my channel and they spoke, and I don't feel like I can have an opinion about what's going on with them and their situation. But you had an opinion about Kylie Rodney, Kylie's upbringing, Kylie's situation, the mom, parents shaming her. How dare the mom let her go to a party where they're drinking, because nobody fucking ever drank while they were underage. I was one of them. So it says a lot. It says a lot about our approach, our selective outrage, especially in the crime community, right? Especially in the crime community. He was a real estate developer or a POA for my father and then stole all of his money in the sale. And clearly there's a lot of familial stuff going on that will likely come up as the case proceeds. Shout out to them. We all have a past, right? We all do. But, let me introduce you to Steve Fisher, who is from SF Investigates, okay? I figured out that the reason why it's SF Investigates is because his name is Steve Fisher. Stupid, but I figured it out. Shout out to the Glare. We're only going to do this a little bit.
They put it out 30 minutes
you guys
before.
Check out his interview.
These people in the campgrounds were starting to look.
Ooh, so I'm going way too fast.
I turned around and I said, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, but it's out on social media. But they found Kylie, and she's in the water, and it was heartbreaking. And they you know, and then they said, where is she? You know, where is she? And I said, she's, you know, I know that they're right down on the point. And so we went down there. You know, Daniel jumped on his quad runner and screamed down there, and David got in his truck and I got in mine, and we were only 3/8 of a mile away.
You could hear on just Steve's voice how worked up he is about this whole Kylie Rodney thing. Like, I could hear it. I could hear it, definitely. He lived off of stolen millions of my father and forced my father to go back to. I'm so sorry, Jessica. So this persona that he has shown himself on the website AFWP is you're trying to say this is not him. Not just all of us are so scared of our past coming to light. Absolutely. Whew. It's just like, yo. So the Glare is showing a post right here, okay? And he's showing kind of how they announced it to everybody. Parents were notified. Parents had not been notified when this post went out. It was still a little bit questionable when they had been notified. Steve Fisher here says, you know, parents found out through social media. They didn't find out through law enforcement. It wasn't like a personal thing, like somebody calls you and says, you know what, this has happened to your child. It didn't go down that way. This was posted. This just how insensitive it was. Oh Lord. I'm looking at the chat, yo guys. Are you guys okay? I just want to make sure everything's okay. There's a lot happening here in the chat. I'm gonna put the StreamYard in their link if you guys want to hit it. I would prefer that you guys just be careful what, you know, because I don't want anything to be used against you in terms of the chat or anything like that. As someone that has worked in the court, this right here, absolutely, Mike. This right here can be used, so you just be careful how you say things. This is why I feel a lot safer if you guys click the link and we talk. I'm able to kind of guide you from saying something different, right? Yes, those are all my favorite content creators, by the way. Shout out to them. Just be very careful. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this can be taken to court and they can look at this and see who said what, and then they'll testify you and try to rip you apart. Jessica, if you want to, you have my message. I have you here now. If you want to DM me, and if there's something specific you want me to say, I can do that as well. I just want you to be kind of careful and stuff, you know, because I don't want anybody tearing the stream apart and then looking at you guys a little bit weird and different. You know what I'm saying? More so for your safety. And if your cousin is here, if there's another alleged victim here, just so that they're aware, okay? But let me keep playing this.
We pulled up, and I watched the Adventures with Purpose thing for the first time today. I've seen people screenshot clips, but I didn't want to watch it, but I watched it just for the sake of doing this. And, you know, when you see Daniel riding up on the quad runner, and, you know, that's how they were notified. And then David, who's her mom's father, used my phone to call his wife to tell her. And
do you know how her mom found out?
I was told. Okay. I have not talked to her mom. I was told by her dad, the grandfather, that she found out friends on social media when she was eating. And I know I did hear from the grandmother for the first time last night. She emailed me about something, and she confirmed that that's how she found out as well, through friends from social media.
And I would imagine that too, Jessica. Everybody in the family's kind of looking at you like, I'm assuming that they're blaming you for a lot of the stuff that's happening. And I'm so sorry. I think that everything that's happening is so horrible, and I'm so sorry that this is happening to you and everyone. Is this Jessica? Jessica, are you able to show me your face if this is you? I just want to make sure I'm not going to get porn bombed. And let me, I'm not going to show your face to anybody. I just want to make sure. You would just have to click your camera. Are you on the stream right now with me? I have somebody in my stream and I don't know if it's them, and I can't put them up there until, let me see if I could put a banner. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Let me mute myself. Give me 1 second. Hey there. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who am I speaking with?
This is the cousin.
This is the cousin. Okay. And you don't have to, I got a banner up, so you don't have to show your face or anything like that. We can just speak this way, okay? I see. I got private messages. You're you're doing everything correctly. Don't worry. Now mind you, I can't confirm that you're her, and I honestly, I just want to, whatever you want to tell me, you talk, and I'm gonna shut up, okay?
Honestly, I really don't know what to say. Chessie was asking me if I was going to name myself, and I didn't want to.
You don't have to.
Exactly. I feel like, being that it's still an open case, that
Yes.
I don't want to put anything out there that could cause
Don't.
problems.
No, don't. And I'm as somebody who, yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also a full-time social worker, and I know what court looks like. So don't name yourself at all. Okay. So everything that we say and I say here is alleged, and I want to just kind of be mindful of that. So you put out those emails at the very least on the Reddit page?
I actually wasn't the one that put them out on the Reddit page. They were on a survivor group on Facebook.
A survivor group of Jared?
No, it's a survivor group for SA victims.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
One of the people in the Reddit thread had actually done some research, and they were really good at their research. And apparently I gave away a little too much information, and they were able to find everything, my name and everything. And they reached out to me, and they did everything tactfully. You know, that they had my permission to put what they put out there.
You are so fucking brave. Can I just say how brave you are?
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
You
but
are
I
so
don't feel it
brave,
at all.
girl. No, I just want to say you are so brave. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you different. You are so brave for speaking out.
Well, I appreciate you. And to clarify, I know everybody keeps asking, but I don't want anything other than justice from this.
Okay. Okay. And this is just to be clear then, you emailed the company, is that correct?
I did. I have successfully kept my distance from Jared personally, and quite a bit of the family, for the majority of my life, to the point where when people would ask me, hey, are you coming to the family reunion? My first question was, is Jared going to be there? And that was the deciding factor as to whether or not I went.
Yeah.
So I knew absolutely nothing about him. I had the issue with with the whole funeral thing. And then I was just on Facebook reading random stories, because I was waiting for something, and I had some time to kill, and I was reading random stories and came across that story, and it just hit home. And I won't lie, I seen red, and I immediately found his website, and I sent him that email.
I was reading your email, or the email, and I'm telling you, like, I felt I was getting so choked up, as well. It was almost like all of us felt it here, all of us in the chat, all of us.
Oh, I'm glad it's legible because I was feeling such rage at that moment when I was writing it. I'm surprised anything even came out.
Absolutely. I wanna warn you about something, you and Jessica as well, just so you guys are aware. Be very careful about who you contact here on YouTube. I know there's you guys have already, if you've been in contact with you know, and I could tell you who exactly as far as YouTuber wise. IckedMel is awesome. Shout out to him. There's very selective content creators you have to be very careful because this is exploitation for them. So what happens here on YouTube, we're talking about a YouTuber, right? Like even though he's just a regular Joe cousin, right? For you guys or sibling or whatever, people will use this to exploit your story and then throw out the possibility of you having a court case. I just want you both to be very careful. This is why I said what I said to Jessica. Like, be very careful what you say, and you don't want to kill a potential legal matter here for you. Okay.
Right.
So I don't want you to tell me your name. I don't want you to tell me anything. Okay. But I just want to like commend you for speaking out. Because you don't know, everybody here is just so excited to hear you. Period.
I honestly am just, I'm floored it even made it this far. I was really surprised. I was prepared for the worst.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you if is he like the black sheep of the family? Like I'm just trying to figure this out.
I
And I
wouldn't
hate to say it that way, but you know.
if you want 100% honesty, I wouldn't say no, he's the black sheep of the family because he has always kind of risen to whatever it is he tried to do. So they've always respected that. Something that unfortunately is just a big part of our family. And so they, I don't know how to word it.
Yeah, yeah. But it sounds like even on the
Yeah, and they
narrative.
encouraged it, but whereas like Chessie and any of us that have actually spoken out and been truthful and said anything against the family, we're truly the black sheep. So we're the ones that have been pushed to the side and kind of outed.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I am, and this is completely up to you. There's another the other content creator that broke the story on YouTube, his name is IckedMel. He's very good with victims and very sensitive. Do you mind if I invite him up? Completely up to you. If there's anything, I don't know if he has anything to say or maybe he wants to, because he stands with you guys, period. And he said so in the chat, but I want to ask permission before I bring him up.
I don't have a problem with it. In full disclosure, we have spoken in private message. So
Okay, good. So you're okay. He's one of my faves. I'm going to drop the link for you if you want to come up and if there's anything that you want to talk and or say as it pertains to this, because I'm just speaking from a social work lens, and I just happen to be a content creator, and so I'm just worried about you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm just worried about you guys, and I think you guys are so brave. Period. And so then I would imagine having to live this. You've been through therapy. You've been through all this.
yes, ma'am.
To address it. Oh my gosh. How does it feel to have people say or try to discredit your story?
I've kind of lived with that my whole life. That was nothing new.
Oh my gosh, girl.
I mean, yeah, it didn't feel good. And, obviously it wasn't a preferred outcome by any means. Nobody wants that to be the reaction to something that you've said that it took a lot for you to even say in the first place.
My God. Do you feel like, what outcome would you like from this? I mean, did you expect him to be indicted on anything at this point?
I don't know what I was truly expecting, to be 100% honest. Like I said, I was preparing for the worst, for them to just contact me and say, I'm sorry, this case is too old. I'm not 100% sure we can do anything with this. I again, haven't been in contact with the majority of my family for so long that I was not aware that I would have the people that came out and actually did back me. So I thought I was going to be completely alone in this. So it's all
Yeah.
been a more positive experience than I expected.
Right. Oh man. And you have a lot of people that support you in the chat, by the way. My goodness.
I appreciate you guys.
I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, anybody get out of control, please block the mods. Whoever tries to get funny here, because we don't tolerate BS like that over here. And I had set that stance right away that we're not here to discredit anybody. This is your side of the story. Anything that you want to share with us pertaining to the emails, or like what was your moment when you were writing those emails? Where was your mind?
I was so angry at first, but then, as you can see by the dates on it, we didn't continue the conversation till the next day. And so I had a little bit more time to think about it. And that was when I just realized that this was my opportunity and I really needed to try to say what I had to say and see if I could get him to put anything in writing, even if just for my own sake. So that way, the next time somebody tried to tell me, oh, you're just being dramatic, or, you're being a prima donna, or whatever else I've been called by the family, I actually had written proof and I could turn around and go, no, I'm sorry, but I have it. You can't tell me this anymore.
Hey Mel, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, we're
Can you
gonna
hear me?
call her. It's me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um,
Testing. Okay. Can you hear me?
we can hear you. Do you have
Okay.
any questions? She's just sharing with us. We figured it's just a chill conversation right now.
So I joined. I was in and out, so I didn't get to hear everything you guys were talking about. But I just wanted to tell you, I guess I would just refer to you as the cousin, that we're here. We support you. I know that I just can't imagine the pressure that you feel, with just like this large, sometimes mob of people just questioning and doubting, and just all the negativity, and attacking and stuff. And also thank you for trusting me too when I DM'd you. And I just want you to know that we support you, and anything you need. And also, like Rabbit said, just be careful too, because some of these people out there are malicious. They have ill intent, secretly recording you, secretly, doing this and that. And the DMs that we had, I was just trying to look out for you too. So
I understand. And I thank you so much for that.
mm-hmm. I don't know. As far as questions, I'm not sure. So you're gonna be there, obviously, I guess November 30th.
He said that I don't have to be there. I don't particularly want to have to be there. I don't have to be, but I will be.
Do you need help with attorney stuff? Like, are you good?
This right now, because it is the criminal case, the state has taken it on. This is all them. This is Utah versus Jared. Not me versus Jared. That would only be if I were possibly going after money and did like a civil case. Would I require a lawyer at that point?
Are they offering you advocacy, a victim's advocate or anything like that through the state?
Both the state of Utah and the state of Nevada offered it to me, yes.
Okay.
Another question too, because I was just familiarizing myself with this. So Utah, from when I looked online, they just lifted the statute of limitations in 2017. Is that correct? With regards to child sexual abuse?
I'm not 100% sure on the dates. I only accidentally came across this again because of a Facebook ad. It said something about, were you molested in the Mormon church? Click here to see if a lawyer can help you out. And so I just kind of went down that rabbit hole.
When you had like that email exchange, is that kind of too what motivated you, like, to kind of come forward more, because now you had more solid like information as far as admitting?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jessica said, and I completely agree, you need to change your name from cousin to hero. Okay.
Yeah.
Period. Jessica, keep us in line. Period. That's how it is.
Well, I'm not the only hero. She's definitely putting herself out there much more than I even have at this point. So I'd say she's a step above me. She's even let everybody know what her name is. I haven't been able to do that yet.
Absolutely. And there is I'm looking at the chat, and I'm sure Mel will probably share with you. I think that there's like a list of these alleged tragedy pimps that are kind of there in the market of exploiting things like this. So just kind of being mindful of who you connect and who you contact with. There's going to be people that are going to be talking about you guys in various streams. Just be careful about how you participate in the chat. This is why I was very leery about what to read and what to say, because Mel and myself, we already know how this works in the background. For an actual case, a legal case, you have to say less. If that makes sense. So we just want to be mindful of you guys,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that sit there all day long digging into you guys instead of really digging into, the alleged person, but really just digging into the victims and accusing them and stuff. The other thing too, and if you can answer, are there other people too potentially that are like victims besides you and the sister?
I think the only reason I feel comfortable saying this is because I've already, unfortunately, in the heat of a moment, already said this in writing somewhere, I believe on Reddit, that yes, there are more of us, but that's their story to tell, and they need to be comfortable with the timing, or if they even decide to go through this. I reached out to a few when I started this process, and they decided to decline.
Absolutely. Jared himself alluded, or even said it in the email, that there was families and together, and there was it was a very like they had a way to deal with it. Why haven't you dealt with it? Type of kind of shift blaming the victim, if that makes sense.
It 100 makes sense because that is the family dynamic. This does go generations back. I won't go into much detail about that because, again, that's all their stories. But this is generational for sure. So it's been almost to the point where, as angry as I am towards my mother for hugging him and telling her she forgave him, I almost kind of later, looking back on it and after going to therapy and discussing it, I can understand why, going through that kind of family trauma, that was her immediate knee-jerk reaction, because that's what they're taught to do. That's what we were all taught to do.
There is, and I want to be careful because the chat is bringing this up as well. Do you at all feel like any of this is in relation to the church, to the Mormon church? Have you separated those two? Or personally, I feel like we can't blame the church and allow the church to take responsibility for what a grown man has done. But I'll let you answer that,
I think only in the way of the church has that forgive and forget kind of motto. Realistically, because I'm not LDS, my mother's not LDS. A lot of us weren't, and we weren't, I wasn't brought up in that way whatsoever. As a small kid, I kind of remember going to church with them occasionally, but that's all I remember. So I wasn't brought up that way. It was more just the family dynamic because it did have such a hardcore Mormon background to it.
Was Jared LDS?
At one point in time, yes, I believe. I mean, he had to have been. His father was. You'd be better off asking Chessie about that, being his sister. Again, like I said, I kept very far away from him. Even as a small child, before everything else started happening, he always scared me. He did evil things.
I'm going to drop the link for Jessica if she wants to come up. Completely up to her. That's up to her and her choice, and the only reason I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned the church is because it came up in the body of the email in his response, but also it's coming a lot in the comments that people have left. Well, blame this on the Mormon church. I said, listen, you got to be able to separate a lot of this from the person as well. Whew, this is some heavy stuff, How has this all affected you overall in your life making decisions, family? Are you able to share a little bit with us?
I've always had extreme trust issues. Understandably. I always, for the longest time, I will not lie, I was always very sad and felt kind of like a pit inside of me as if something was missing because I didn't have that connection with my family. I didn't have that, I wasn't involved in a lot of the things that they did. I wasn't invited to a lot of the things they did. It was pretty much just the typical, hey, we're inviting everybody to the family union, so I fell under that umbrella. So I have a big disconnect with the family, so I can't answer a whole lot of questions on their behalf, if that makes any sense, because I stayed away from them as much as I could. If I possibly had the choice to not be around them, I didn't.
And you currently don't have any contact with the family, right? It sounds like you've been pretty distant from everyone.
Yeah, no, the last contact I had with them was when I let them all know what my intentions were and that there was a possibility some of them could be brought into it because Jared himself named them in emails.
Absolutely. Yes, for those that are coming in, we had done a live IckedMel broke the story here about Jared from AWP. He is here on this channel. Thank you. No thanks, investigates. Absolutely. Thank you. He had, broken the story here, and essentially it's gone out there as well as what Jared has done in his past. It's come to light. And here is the writer of those emails, the hero, as we will call her here, the cousin. Okay. And Jessica is the sister who is in the chat as well, has been very active with everyone. I had to confirm, Mel, that it was her. I said, I need you to send me a message because you're saying a lot. I said, everybody says everything. So I was like, I need you to confirm. And she did. Shout out to her. She didn't take offense to it. My God, man.
Have you spoken at all to Jared since like that email exchange?
No, I was never actually told by anybody to not have contact with him, but I just assumed, again, being with everything that was about to happen, it was better to just not say anything to him. I don't really have much else to say to him at this point.
Can you tell me how it felt when you got the call from the district attorney's office, or was it an email when they informed you what they were planning to do?
It was a phone call, and I answered the phone with a pit in my stomach, expecting him to just kind of blow me off because it'd been a little while. And the news was much better than I expected it to do, and I will not lie, I was jumping up and down and crying.
Wow. My goodness. I'm just amazed. Number one, you hit the link. I didn't think you were going to hit the link. I didn't think anybody was going to hit the link, right? You're an amazing person for speaking up. I'm just at odd by your words, and just everything that you've said. Mel, do you have any other questions for?
I was kind of wondering too, and again, I'm sorry because I didn't hear some of the previous conversations you guys had, but so I had heard that you were trying to talk about this from a while back, and is it true that your comments and stuff were being deleted on Reddit? Like I had seen screenshots of something like that.
Yes, a lot of the users on Reddit were having an issue with me putting it out there because, and I understand looking back on it, they were just accusations at that point. I'm sorry. I honestly was I was still trying to be comfortable with being vocal about it, and I use the internet as my buffer zone, if that makes any sense. So my first time actually saying anything and putting anything out there was on the internet, and I did it in a victims advocacy group. So it was kind of a small group of people, and then my next step was I moved on to Reddit and stuff like that, and was kind of looking at stuff, and that's where I found some comments, and I couldn't help myself. I commented on them. And that was my kind of my platform to take the backlash and see if I was even strong enough to move forward with this. And the stuff that people said to me and the stuff that they messaged me in my inbox was just horrific. But after going through all of that, and I talked to my therapist about it, she says, well, you survived it, didn't you? And I was like, yes. And she goes, and you're stronger for it, correct? And I was like, okay. And she goes, well, a trial is going to be nothing more than that. Anything and everything these people threw at you, these accusations, these everything like that is what you're going to get in a trial. So do you think you're strong enough to move forward? And at that point I said yes, and I actually reached out to the police department and made the first step.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's it that I have, because I wasn't really prepared to come on. I just want to let you know that we support you. There's some good people out there that are willing to stand with you. And if you need anything, if there's anything any of us can do, whether it's just support, or if eventually, I don't know, if you need some sort of, I know you said that the attorney stuff is not through you, it's through the state, but if you need any kind of, like, I don't know, funds or something, some sort of, I don't know, or awareness thing, I'll definitely push it, or if anybody else will support you in that as well. So
Definitely.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
thanks.
Yeah, for sure. And your bravery, like, just you and Jessica, my goodness, like, what you've taken on is huge, and it's not going to stop here, right? I think we all support you and we stand with you. And I want to thank Mel for standing brave as well, because you've taken on a lot. I think all of us content creators that are speaking against AWP or anything, we risk being flagged, shut down, accused, some type of conspiracy theory, which is not okay, because
I can kind of relate as far as the whole, like, the false accusations and like these huge, like, people that are considered like celebrities or something, that it's like once they say something, people just like they take their word. It doesn't matter what they do. They can lie. They can do all kinds of stuff, and people don't seem to care because of their, like, celebrity status. And then when somebody with such a huge following comes after you, you know, I mean, I don't know. I can definitely sympathize by, like, how horrendous and nasty the internet can be, and just cold and callous and unsympathetic, you know, and just targeting and attacking victims. You know, I mean, just crazy.
Absolutely. All for clicks and views. It does happen. I think I have Jessica here. Jessica, is this you?
Yes, it's me.
I'm not going to make you send me another message. Thank you for
I
doing
can
it,
verify it, sir. I know that voice.
You cool. Shout out to you guys.
Sorry, it took me a long time to try to figure out how to get logged into this thing. I've never done this before.
I figured as much, Jessica. Like, you're on it. Like, you're speaking out. Oops, sorry about that, my daughter. You're speaking out. Like, where's your mind at? Where are your thoughts at right now? I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
This, I was kicked out of my family back at a very young age because of this, because I spoke out and I wouldn't back down from the truth.
Your sound is a little bit in and out, and I'm wondering if I heard what you said. You were kicked out of your family because of this, because you spoke out. Your family is definitely not in support of you guys speaking out. Am I hearing that correctly?
The majority of them know.
Wow. Jessica, are you there?
I think she might have some connection issues.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And that was the question from the super chat. Is the family offering any support at this point? Is there anything you guys can answer to that?
I can't speak for Chessie, to be honest, but I've gotten a little bit. I don't want to name names because I don't want to, again, ruin anything or let anybody know who said what.
Especially if they're targets, you definitely don't want to name anybody's name at this point, you know?
Exactly.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad that Jessica's supporting you as well, because I think it just adds more to it. Because I was looking at some of the comments, and even though some people were nasty, other people were like, "Wow, like this is like even though what you brought forward was a lot, I thought even that email exchange, but just having somebody else to say like, hey, this happened to me too, I think it's just really brave as well for her to support you, and that she's really public with it, and kind of standing along with you. So it's just more uh, fuel to the fire, I guess, of what's going on here. And I feel like there's more definitely that's going to come out and come from this whole situation.
Absolutely. I think having, Jessica there kind of gave that this is actually real, right? That there's things that have happened within this family network and system, and that this isn't somebody just coming out of the woodworks to say all this. I mean, thank you, Jessica, for supporting, right? Like you guys are awesome for being there for each other,
I definitely appreciate her more than she even knows. I guarantee it. She took a lot of weight off of my shoulders because I felt like I was drowning under this for quite some time, and then she jumped up. It was my hero, and she backed me up when, again, like I said, I was not even sure if anybody from my family was going to attempt to do that or if they were just going to all be on his side.
That's what it sounds like. Jessica, are you back? Or are you still having some sound issues? I'd love to hear from you.
And I just wanted to say, too, with regards to the statute of limitations, from what I found online I was reading, it says that in 2017, Utah legislature unanimously passed HB 277, which eliminated the deadline for civil child sexual abuse claims, which previously had a 4-year statute of limitations. So that's important too, because I've seen that the whole statute of limitations come up a lot. So it was pretty limited before, and so they just kind of a couple of years ago lifted that up.
Right, and I'm so thankful that they did. More states really need to catch on to that because, like I said, most people, there was no way I had completely comprehended what had happened to me by 4 years.
And I wonder if some of this came from just the religious abuse stuff that was coming out of Utah between the LDS Church and also the institutional places in Utah, right? Because they were doing a lot of treatment centers. Paris Hilton spoke a little bit about that. So there's been a lot of legislation changes recently because of that. So, this is great news. And for those that are wondering, because I go back to that email message, you told this man he needs to go to the police station and say all the wrongdoings that he did. And that's what you want. He needs to serve time behind bars. That is what you want as the victim of this situation. So for those that are asking, well, what does she want? It was pretty black and white written in that message, how I saw it.
Exactly. And for all I knew, we could have walked in there and they would have just looked at me and been like, why are you bothering me with this? I was willing and prepared to have that outcome, but that was really all I asked for.
Right. And that's how I figured. I'm going to drop the link for Jessica one more time. I don't know if she's able to connect in or make it. She was giving us some information here that I was like, a lot of us don't know all the stuff. Mel, how are you feeling about all this? Where's your mind at?
I was somewhat surprised when I had heard all of this, and I almost feel like it's one of those things, like I've said, and some other people have said, it's kind of coming full circle, I think. And I was just really shocked, just kind of shocked by the whole situation. And even like when I was reading the emails and where he was referring to like this generational stuff, which I know she doesn't want to speak on too much, but it's like some sort of like acceptance or something. It seems like within the families or whatever, year after year. I don't know. It's just shocking that like even where she said her mother kind of just hugged him and forgave him. Like, I don't even know how you process that as a kid. It's just your own mother,
Right. Hey, Jessica, you're back. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I don't know where you lost me.
I you were sharing just in general a little bit of I think you said you were kicked out of the family for speaking out. If you want to keep going from there, we'll hear you from there.
Sure, absolutely. I was kicked out of the family at a very young age for speaking out. Um, I I don't even know what to even think about that. Looking back at it, on it as an adult, because I never would do any of that to my children. I would actually seek the help that they needed. Um, when here a while back, I had gotten an email, or well, through Messenger, I had received some stuff which has been all over social media lately, and that was the text between the hero and Adventures with Purpose. And I was asked, have you heard about this? And I guess this has been going on since the first part of the year. I had not heard about this. And I was recently over this stuff, or at least I thought that I was over my past, and I was starting to move forward. As you'll even see on my Facebook page, I have a picture of me in a camouflage jacket with some cleavage. And I finally was starting to realize how beautiful of a person I was, not only on the inside, but the outside. I was starting to finally believe all the things that people have been telling me about myself, that I was a beautiful person. And I even made a funny comment about it, saying, hey, I'm in a camouflage jacket so no one can see me, and then all of a sudden I get this message, and I know that I need to help. I know that I need to help the hero, because I know that the hero wants justice. I know that the hero is hurting because the hero is seeing someone else be called a hero that is the farthest thing from it. And that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. And it's not fair to others to not have their children protected. It's not fair for the nation now to be calling somebody a hero when their own children could possibly, allegedly, be at risk. I knew that I had to take it upon myself to take a few steps back. And even though it has pretty much dragged me emotionally through the dirt, it has been very hard on me, because like I said, I thought it was something that I was over. I'm obviously not, but I definitely will not stand by and watch other people hurt when justice can possibly be served, when other people can possibly not be abused by the same person. They have every right to know who this person really is that was being called a hero. They're not the hero. My cousin is the hero. And I am willing, and I still am willing, to put my life at risk. It's been.
I think she cut out again.
Oh, I think she did. Oh my gosh, Jessica. Can you hear me, Jessica? She's in and out. Oh man. Whew.
Yeah, and I want to really hear what she has to say too. It's too bad the connection thing.
Wow. Hero, do you have anything to say so far? I mean, because I know you got to be very careful what you say, but just overall, where is your mind at? Are you doing okay?
I am. It just brings up old memories, and I feel so bad for Jessie, because I know what she went through in the family. She was the one who was demonized mostly, that kept the rest of us so quiet, because we didn't want to be in the same position she was.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Jessica, are you still there? I can drop the link one more time for you if you want to. And if not, maybe you and Mel can, I don't know, connect offline. Oh, she dropped again.
I was wondering too, for Hero, I was wondering, do you believe like the rest of AWP knew about this stuff, or?
I won't lie, when I first read that, I thought, that's just a typical tactic for him to say, well, everybody knows about this, so that way I wouldn't attempt to try to reach out in case I was trying to cause drama, which was never my intent. I only wanted to speak to him. But after, I think I seen another YouTube video somewhere where an ex-AWP employee had came on and said that, yes, they knew, but it was dumbed down, and it's exactly the way he admitted everything to my mother. It was a very watered down version.
Yeah, he had come on. I think his name is Kevin. He came on yesterday, and he had said something about like he had mentioned the situation, but like you said, I guess probably watered down, not the real details. And the other thing too, I wanted to ask you, because I saw a clip of a video where he mentions, I think when he was 16 or 17, that he had left the country. Do you think it was because of everything that happened?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't speak on that.
Okay.
I didn't know about all of that until recently when somebody in the family told me the story.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can send you the clip. I just thought it was kind of interesting and kind of weird. And it was right around the time of these things that happened, like right after it looked like he left the country. I don't know.
Wow. When he told you, so basically when he told you in the email that he's got nothing to hide, this is an unfiltered company email, so everybody in the email company, do you think that was tactic for him to just kind of keep you quiet?
I assumed as much, yes.
Okay. That's so interesting. I mean, unless the support emails went everywhere, because it was like AWP support or something, right?
Yeah, I didn't email him at a personal email because I didn't have one for him at that time.
I think that the bravery for you just to write an email and send the email, tell me, like, you were upset, anything else that you want to share about where your mind was at the time when you sent it?
I would love to say that any of this was actually bravery, but it was just full on, I was upset. Everything came back to the surface. Everything that I had, like Jesse said, thought I'd moved on from, thought I had pushed down and dealt with, and had just, just became okay with, like I was supposed to, like everybody else in the family. And then, all of that happened, and it was just, I was upset. And everything over those generations of being upset about that, from the moment that I stood there silently screaming in my head, this is a lie, as he's admitting to my mom what he said he did to me, all the way up until this point, just came out in writing at that moment.
What I find very interesting, Mel, and I don't know, you might have read it on your channel too, the About Me page on his history. He doesn't talk about any of his history that Steve Fisher pulled, the 39
Oh, wow.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, he didn't mention any of that. And I was looking at that yesterday. It was a lot. It was a long, I'm going to have to look it up again. History of I'm going to have to pull it up and see right now. Let's see. Yeah, long history. A lot of traffic infractions, reckless driving.
Did you see the weapons?
Let's see. Yeah, weapon use unlawful, DWS violation, attempt to elude police, and then some of the stuff goes pretty far back. Firearm, carry, use dangerous weapon, attempt to flee police, false swearing, menacing, pointing firearm at another. Yeah, these are all into in the 90s.
None of that was written on his About Me page. It was like, I did a 20-page essay with about a girl, and trying to pick up girls that way. And it sounded like he married his high school sweetheart. Like, I'm just wondering. And then he might have had a baby during this guy. It was like a love child type of, I hate to say it that way, but something to that effect, where there is no communication. But where in that did he have time to fit all this background? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, he didn't mention none of that. And it was like I don't know, it was weird reading that article. It was like I don't know, promotional, it was just odd. It was just really odd. And just almost just like the emails that to me seemed very manipulative and like narc kind of just a bunch of BS. I mean, I don't know if you were actually a hero, but how did you feel with his responses? Were you infuriated? Because I was thinking I'd be upset because it just felt very manipulative, his response.
Oh, absolutely. For him to just brush it off as, I've forgiven myself, so now it's kind of up to you to do it.
Right.
I'm going to name off everybody else in the family that's been through this. Why don't you go talk to them and figure out how to get over it? Because they did.
Yeah. I thought it was complete BS.
The worst, and it made me so sick to my stomach, is when he actually referred one of his previous victims for me to go speak to.
Like like you should speak to her because she's more along your age. Something to
So I
that
can learn
effect.
how to forgive. I can be
Yeah.
more forgiving, and I can figure out how to forgive like she did.
Like a forgiveness coach. I was
Pretty
like,
much.
what the hell is
Yeah,
that?
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody said
Hey,
condescending.
Jessica. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Hey, Jessica, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you. I mean, we were right there when you were telling us everything that happened. We were just talking about Jared's background. It sounds like very intense, but he doesn't talk about it in his About Me page. Was this what happened in the 90s with this man?
What happened in the 90s with which man?
Jared.
Oh, everything. Almost every single type of criminal act that you can imagine. And a lot of times even though, I mean, it sounds sick and twisted, but if you look at it from a psychological standpoint, especially looking back at it now, it's understandable why I was always drawn to wanting his attention, wanting his approval. So I was, I was in the back seat, or the, right next to him the whole time, committing a lot of these crimes.
Jessica, I was wondering about that whole situation where he orders, I guess, food, and what was this like? What do you think his intentions was? Like, I guess hoping that you would show up, to curse you out.
I'm not sure what his intentions are. Allegedly, I think his intentions were to try to get me fired from my job so I wouldn't have money to go to Utah for this court case. I have been disabled for over 12 years now, and I ended up getting my last Social Security check actually last November. Ended up getting it, I believe, the first part of December, because it was the November check. But and it's just because I was miraculously healed. That's a whole nother story itself, because I thought I was going to be disabled for life. All of a sudden, my medical situation got better, and I was able to go back to work. And after holding a job for an entire year, I finally gave up Social Security. Everybody told me not to do it, but I did it anyways. I'm a strong person, and I want to keep moving forward in any direction that I can. And so now, for a little while later, and I've now held my job for almost 2 years straight, and I get an order to deliver to a Jared, which I had delivered to his other home address a couple different times. It was very uncomfortable, and each time I would actually take a screenshot and I would send it to my kids and my best friend and say, this is where I'm going to order at in case something happens. I flat out would do that. And so on this particular day, I got this order for a Jared L, but it was at a different address that was clear on the outskirts of town. It was not inside our regular city limits. And there's a lot of Jareds out there that I deliver to. And so, but because it had the last initial L, I did the screenshots again that day too. And I did send those to a friend of mine saying, and I believe to family as well, saying, hey, I don't know if this is Jared's new address or not, but on his end, he will see my first name. And as you can see, my first name is very unique. So there's no question that in a town of only 30,000 people, that it's his sister coming to his address with specific instructions saying, go through this gate, go down the driveway. I mean, there was very specific instructions of what I needed to do to get down there that I didn't say. I kind of summarized on my Facebook page, but as I was pulling up to the gate started actually closing to where I actually had to back up a tiny bit. I parked my van, to where, looking back at it, I believe that he was probably intentionally trying to close the gate on my vehicle. He knew that I was coming. That's why the gate was closing. That's why he was walking up the driveway and yelling and cussing at me, and wouldn't even take the order from me, to where I had to end up pulling over to the side of the road later. And I even tried to explain to him, like, here he is yelling and cussing at me, and I'm trying to stay, in a good work ethic mindset, trying to explain to him that had I have known that it was him, I would have unaccepted the order and they would have sent somebody else. That plain and simple. He knew it was me coming. That is no question in my mind, especially because the gate was closing and him walking up the driveway screaming at me. So, and he would not take the food from me. I pulled over, I called my work and said, hey, this is what has just happened. You know, I just got yelled and screamed at and the F word used. And he also made a report against me, but he said it was the other way. I, you know, he still is.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah, I want to ask her more. I'm
I
glad she's talking
know.
though, but yeah.
Mel, I hope she. Ooh, okay, Mama. I hope she connects with you, Mel, because I mean, it's a lot, you know, of information
It
to
is,
give
yeah.
out, and I think that, you know, both of these women need a lot of support overall from everyone. I think it's just the bravery of it all is just so amazing of them. I don't know if she's able to come back or what to
Yeah,
do
because I
here.
was wondering too, like I was trying to like, was this his reaction? Like I don't know when he found out that Jessica was supporting Hero. And like I was just kind of curious, like maybe he had already found out about this stuff being filed to be charged. Like, or I don't know when exactly that happened too. So I was wondering if it was retaliatory.
From her Facebook post.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen it on Facebook.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was very open about it, and many of the family contacted her about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow. So here's my thing, though. You know, oh, she just dropped down too, didn't she?
Mhm.
Okay. And I have a lot of questions as well for Jessica because I feel like she is the most vocal one right now, and she's not part of the case, correct?
Not directly at the moment.
Okay, but she could be subpoenaed. You know, they could make her a witness for whatever reason, you know, or, you know, to be helpful of that case. And I'm just trying to be mindful of what questions we can or can't ask because of that. I don't have any more questions, Mel. Do you have any more questions for?
No, that I think that's it. I think I'm gonna try to do is maybe I'll talk with some people and we can come up with some questions. But again, I know it's a super sensitive matter, and this is it's going to trial. And
She's
yeah.
back.
Oh, she's back. Okay, let's see.
She's back. All right. Thank you, Tiny Dancer.
I have no idea what keeps happening.
I don't know, but you're back, which is what's more important at this point. Go ahead and let us know where you left off.
I have no idea where I left off because I don't know.
It was with regards to the whole delivery thing. I was kind of curious too. Do you think that was like retaliatory for your support of Hero? Like he was pissed off about that, or just maybe he was just upset with you in general?
I honestly do. This case was kind of up in the air for a while, and it sounds like the case started moving forward as soon as I got a hold of an investigator. And I tried to, before I even gave my story to an investigator, I tried to call both of my parents to ask them if they had heard about these, I don't want to call them allegations, but legally we have to right now.
Right.
And both of them, there are certain things about Jared that they 100% know that he has done that would be even more completely mind-blowing to you than the situation at hand right now that I won't discuss. So I brought up those situations to my parents and said, hey, do you remember when? And you know, throughout the situation, and both of them just kind of stuttered around and said, I don't remember that. Really? Because everybody's been talking about it for the last over 30 years now, or the last over 20 years now, depending on which situation we're talking about. And then all of a sudden, just magically, because of these alleged allegations, they just automatically don't
Oh no.
Yeah, I think we lost her. Hopefully next time we can try to get her for maybe she can resolve the connection issue. I also just want to say too, thank you to because yesterday when I had heard about this, Level Headed reached out to me and he got his information from Lena Westbrook. So I just want to say thanks to those people that passed it along to me, and then I just you know, I jumped on it. And the other thing I want to say too is that you know, I had somebody that reached out to me on Facebook, and she had told me, you know, she was a little bit offended when I said if this is true. And we had a nice conversation, but and I explained, you know, I apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to legally cover myself because I know these people, they got a lot of money. They're not going to be afraid to sue or try to shut things down or get videos taken down and stuff like that. And so, you know, I was talking to a few people to maybe learn better verbiage, you know, but for now, you know, I have to say allegedly, but I definitely don't mean any offense. And I believe these women for sure, and they have my support and everybody else that supports them.
Well, they're very litigious, right? Like,
yeah.
They have money and they're going to do what they have to do to protect themselves, right? So definitely, I appreciate you, Mel, for coming up because number one, I don't think I expected any of this to go this way. I was ready to review. I was like, whoa, Hero, I'm so happy that you came up. Do you have anything else for us? The biggest thing, my message to you, and I'm sure Mel expresses this the same way, be careful who you talk to and who you connect, because I honestly feel like, you know, with AWP, Jared, and then being in this YouTube realm, it's very easy to be set up into something. And I don't want that to see happen to you. And I know that, you know, the district attorney is going to do what they're going to do, but to protect yourself, a defense attorney will go anywhere on the internet to protect their client and to defend their client. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So be very careful. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful. You have us to reach out to. We're here for you. If there's something you want to talk about or announce or whatever, I mean, clearly, Mel, shout out to you because you've been on it, and everybody else that is on the right side of this, if that makes sense.
Right.
But I just want you to be careful. Yeah.
I agree.
You know, awesome. I don't have any other questions. Jessica, if you can connect with Mel or connect with me, whichever, we can set up a time. That way, you know, your connection is a little bit better. We'll figure something out, you know? I mean,
Okay.
I don't know why I'm asking her. She's not in the chat. No. She's going to be like, sure, in the chat. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Mel, thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you so much for having me.
I didn't expect you to come up. I said,
I'm going to send, I just jumped on real quick. I love what you're doing. I love your channel. I think we just recently started talking on YouTube. I think you're doing a great job. And I think you're genuine too. And so, yeah, thank you for having me on. So I'll head out here into the Hero too. If you need anything from me, you know, we've DM'd a few times on Reddit. You have my support. You have our support. A lot of people on the channel support you. So if you ever need anything, just reach out. And I'm very also, just to protect the people that reach out. If they don't want something out, I don't put it out. I always try to like protect them. That's why I felt so defensive of Ronnie. I don't know the guy, but the guy came on the channel to give some information. People were attacking him, doxing him, and that's why I stood up. I didn't need to. I could have just let him hang. And I thought that was really dirty what these people online did. And so, yeah, if you ever need anything, I'm here. So, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mel.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Well, I'll stay in communication, guys. Thank you, Hero. And you can go ahead and, unless you want me to drop you, you let me know. I want you to stay in contact with me. Hit me up on IG or email, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Good. Best of luck. Let us know what happens, okay?
Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining and being here today. Number one, I want to thank Jessica, Mel. Mel, of course, make sure you check out his channel. Make sure you check out the Glaire's channel as well, because I was using some of his content. SF Investigates, he has a Twitter. Go check him out. There were some great content creators in here as well. Shout out to them. And Hero, absolutely. Shout out to all the people that are speaking out. First of all, and let's be very clear, we stand with victims. Anybody can be in this situation, okay? And so the last thing I want, if you're in my comments trying to drag someone, discredit them, you're not going to do that here. You will be blocked. So just note that and keep that in mind. Shout out to everybody here, period, that is making a difference. I got to go because you guys know I have Baby Bunny, and she's the CEO of this channel, and she says, Mom, it's time to get out of here. So I got to head out. Rabbits out. Have a great Sunday.